right, Miss Etta.
Give me 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
You're welcome. You pay me for that, you know? You pay me for that. That tells me I have 5,000 photos.
All right. You're on there. All right, Etta's going to get us started.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. All right. Let's pause for a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the opportunity that we get to serve in such a beautiful community. We thank you for the beautiful day that you've given us, a day like no other. And so we strive to use our abilities, our gifts, our talents, and our graces to bring you glory. Bringing you glory as we serve one another in such a beautiful setting. We pray for those who serve as leaders on our campus, both residents and staff. We thank you that we work hand in hand with your mission and your vision always being our focus. Remind us that you are our compass. You point us north to you as we continue to just pour out ourselves together in this season. We thank you that you embrace those who need a special embrace, that you pour out your healing for those who need a special healing, that you pour out your encouragement as we greet one another, as we grace the halls. Continue to remind us that all things come from you, and so we give you thanks. So lead us and guide us as we walk through our chat today, reviewing the activities that are coming up and the highlights for this campus, and realizing that none of it's possible except through you. So we bless you, we thank you, and most of all, we give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
All right, thank you. We're going to do the pledge. Please stand if you're able. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you. And before we get too far along, I want to go ahead and share real quick. I'm going to play a real quick video. I think it's about a minute long, and it's not on our agenda. But Westminster, in conjunction with this company called Tailgate, has put together a commemorative piece about some of our residents that served during World War II. All right, we just had the honor flight come back last week. It was great. Leighton Hunter, one of our residents here, there he is, Leighton, participated. I think he had a guardian that went with you as well, nice gal. It was a great event, very well attended out there at the airport. It was, awesome. Thank you for your service and going to that, but I just wanted to show everybody the trailer. The film will be shown here in the chapel June 2nd at 1 p.m., right? Did I get the time right? 2 p.m. So if you come at 1, it won't be playing yet. All right.
When I think back of my life, I'm very satisfied with all the things that happened to me. But most were things I made decisions about.
I think that the World War II gave us a sense of we can do it, damn it, and we will. and we have. For an 18-year-old, it was fun. I look forward to jumping out of an airplane.
In some ways, it was an easier time. You had a clear vision of what you were supposed to be doing. You were following the same leader. You really felt you were doing what was the right thing to do overall. You're not alone in this.
I had two brothers. One was in the Army, the other in the Navy, and that's why I thought I would like to be a Marine. So we have the three branches of service. There was a need, and I had seen and heard of the need and decided this is what I wanted to do with my life.
Is there any part of my life that I wish I had done differently? The answer is basically no.
Makes me very proud to be one of the last members of World War II generation.
All right. That was the trailer, huh? How about that? So these are all three Westminster residents. Two of them I want to say are from St. Augustine, and another one I want to say from Winter Park. One of them was the gal there that was in the Marines was a bugler. The other gal was a plane spotter up in Jacksonville that would look out, over the beach, for submarines and airplanes coming in back then from Germany, right? And the other gentleman, I can't recall what he did. Yes. Tallahassee. There you go. Thank you. Thank you. So again, June 2nd at 2 p.m. Right here. We got flyers. They're posted around, and it'll be in my TGI. All right. To get back on schedule here, we're going to go to Allison.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's nice to see all of you. I have a few announcements I wanted to go over. First, I want to acknowledge that our red, white, and blue Wii Bowlers are still at it. We are in week number 6 out of the 8 weeks. And our teams WLK North, WLK South 1, and WLK South 2 have all been in the top 1 or 2 spots out of all the teams. So let's go ahead and give them a nice clap. Yep, they're doing great. They're just bowling some great scores, and we're going to see it through to the end of that 8 weeks. We have bocce ball this weekend. It'll be set up all weekend down in the MacArthur Center. So from 3 to 4, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can meet up down at the MacArthur Center and play bocce ball with some other folks. It's a good time. It's not hard to do. And Bob over there on the end, he is our bocce ball fella that knows it all. If you have questions about it, just speak with him and he can give you some more details. But it's a good group that gets together and plays. Next Friday, May the 22nd, the Polk County Elections Office, Jack Slaughter, who's an outreach specialist, is going to be on campus from 10 to 12 down in the 4 bunker lobby. He's going to be able to help you with 3 things: register to vote, he can update your information, and also he can help you fill out a vote by mail request form. All that they ask is you either bring a driver's license, a Florida identification card, or just know those last 4 digits of your Social Security number so they can help you out. But there's going to be 2 of them, and he's the main guy, our outreach specialist. So that's Friday, May the 22nd, from 10 to 12 down in the 4 bunker lobby. So they'll be set up down there to help you. So do we have any cribbage players in the house? Woohoo, yes. All right, I know we do. Tuesday, May the 26th, from 7 to 9, down in the MacArthur Bistro, there's going to be some cribbage players getting together. They're encouraging our beginners and experienced players to come join the fun. They ask that you please bring your cribbage board if you have one. They only have 2, so if you've got a cribbage board, please bring it. But they're getting ready to kick that off May the 26th. So into June, I've got 2 announcements for June, and then I'll be done. We're going to have a Lunch and Learn Friday, June the 5th. It's with the Alzheimer's Association at 12 o'clock in the MacArthur Center. Jody will be here to talk and to share. You can sign up on MyWLife or just contact me. And then our annual bake sale, that's going to happen on Friday, June the 19th from 7:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. in the sunroom. I need bakers for the bake sale. So if you can bake and you want to donate something for the bake sale, please call me and let me know so that I can start getting an idea of what kind of goodies we're going to have for our bake sale. Every year, it's been very successful, and we want to just continue that tradition to help the Alzheimer's Association. And that's all I have for now. Thank you. That's PM. That's an evening event in the bistro, the MacArthur Bistro.
We're going to go off schedule, and we're going to go to Michelle.
Thank you.
You're next.
Hello, everyone. Oh, thank you.
I
Yeah,
caught
that's
on to it a little bit later.
Just a report for us in sales department. We are over 98% occupied. We are still hoping to get to that 100% independent living. We are 100% in AL still, so that's fantastic. We do have a 1-bedroom apartment that is going to be released. If there is anybody who is living in the community who thinks that they're ready to move to an apartment, I need to know that, because I don't want to give it away to someone else if there's somebody who's kind of ready to move into apartment living. It would be an A building on the 2nd floor. If you're on the 2nd floor, you have to be able to get down a set of stairs if there's a fire, okay? So keep that in mind, and even if you're recommending somebody or telling somebody about it. We had a very successful Cinco de Mayo party. We had 68 people attend. 19 of them were new prospects. I had 5 tours so far since then. A couple of people are very interested. A couple people who ran into old friends here, which was wonderful. They didn't know they were here, and so it was very encouraging. Our incredible resident population is the #1 resource for people in our community. I don't know if you know that, but many of the people who come to Westminster are because they know somebody else here. We have 2 houses, one that is ready to go and one that is still being renovated. And we want residents for those. There is a $2,400 credit to your monthly service fee for being the person who recommends candidates who might be interested in those homes. That's true for anything that becomes available. It can't be people who are already in our system. They have to be new people who come and tour. You give us their name ahead of time. What sometimes happens is somebody comes and they know a bunch of people here, and then everybody says, oh, I know them from church, or I know them from here, but there's other people saying the same exact thing. So beforehand. So please, if there's somebody that you know that might be a candidate for Westminster, please make sure you let them know about it, and also let me, Evilise, or Susan know about that. We have committed to do a lunch and learn in July in the Sandpiper community, which is a 55 and older community. So we will be actually talking about a life plan community with them, and we get the whole lunchtime all to ourselves, which is wonderful. You have to get on their calendar a year in advance. And the other thing that we're doing is we are sponsoring the history of Lakeland in June. And our own Pat Steed will be giving the presentation. She is a retired city planner. And that might be something that you're interested in. We will be putting it in the Daily Scoop. That's the first week of June. Sorry, second week. It's the 9th. But it's the history of Lakeland. It is a prospect event, but it is an event I think many of you would be interested in to come in and listen. So feel free to come. And there was one other thing I wanted to tell you. Oh, I already did. So I'm going to let Evilise talk about assisted living and her wonderful events that have been happening.
Hi, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Evilise, and I oversee the assisted living sales, and also I do a lot of community development and outreach. I wanted to just touch base because we haven't had a chat with Doug since then. Shakespeare in the Park was last month, and it was fantastic. Thank you for all of you who came out to make it so special. The performance obviously was amazing, and she just loves being here. It was her second year being here, and she couldn't stop raving about just the residents in the community. So hopefully we'll be able to have her next year. We had about almost double of what we had last year, so we had about 45 people in attendance. So thank you all. Yesterday we hosted the Lakeland Police Department, so it was National Police Appreciation Week. So they came by for some yummy tacos. We had that in the MacArthur Center, so you'll see some pictures. I know I shared that, and they'll be in the newsletter, so you'll be able to see how that went. But they also are very appreciative, and they love our community and all of our residents, so that is only because of you. We have our next event that's going to be for residents as well as prospects would be Gorgeous Grandma. You can also be, it's for grandmas and non-grandmas alike, and you grandpas. But it's July 23rd, and so keep that in your calendars. I'll have that coming out soon enough, but we'll have some live entertainment, a lot of sponsors, and we'll change this whole room around to fit that. So we're really excited about that. I decided to kind of take the time to bring up some new things in the community that are coming up that you might not be aware of since I'm out and about. So first and foremost, I'm sure you guys have heard of it, but the new Orlando Health is going to be in Lakeland Highlands, right? We're all excited for, I know I am, for that new hospital to open up. So it looks like it's going to open up in July. There is a hard hat event that I will be attending along with Rhonda and a few of my other colleagues. Next week, we'll be able to get a tour through the Chamber of Lakeland, so we'll come back and give you all that feedback. It looks like they almost tripled the amount of beds they originally thought, so it's going to be a 302 inpatient bed hospital, so we're excited for that. And then the other thing that opened recently is Exalt Inpatient Rehab Hospital. Very different from our outpatient rehab. I want to, side note, first and foremost, always tell your Lakeland Regional, if you're at Lakeland Regional or Orlando Health, your case manager, you live at Westminster Lakeland. Come to our rehab, outpatient rehab first and foremost. However, inpatient is very different. So now this is only two in this area in Polk County. The first one is Encompass. I'm sure you guys have heard of Encompass. So Exalt is now open, and they are accepting patients at this time. They're over in Auburndale. And just to share the difference, the purpose for that is usually if you've suffered some type of severe injury or stroke or complex surgery recovery, and you need that 24/7 nursing is needed, and it's usually only for like several weeks versus an outpatient rehab. So again, first and foremost, tell them about us, because we want you to come back home and do our short-term rehab. But if you need a severe and intense rehab, that is another option out there for you. That's all I got. Thanks.
Last but not least, you might not have noticed, it is not our event, but there is a carnival out in the Helenberry Garden. Now, I happen to have $3 here because it only takes $1 to take a shot at the dunk tank, and our wonderful administrator and our director of nursing have positioned themselves in that dunk tank for the purposes of raising funds. All of you want to help us raise funds. I will start you off with the first $3. And I'm going to give one of those dollars I know to Joe over here because Joe is a baseball collector. So I just believe like he probably can throw a baseball. Is there anyone else who would like to try their luck? Because I have 2 more dollar bills. Do not be shy. Anybody, anybody.
Doug might be on the ballot too.
Doug might be in the tank. Oh, that's even better. Come on. Okay, Bill. There you go. All right, I need a lady. Oh, come on. Oh, yeah. Let's say Pam. Pam will go and do it for us. There you go, Pam. Listen, very important. We're supporting our activities all together. And so we want to be the first people to help spur that on. Please go see, what? At 2. Started at 2. Alyssa starts the dunk tank at 2:30, and you're at what time? No, I'm at 2. She's at 2 and 2:30. So leave here. You can go right out into the Helen Berry Garden, right out here behind the chapel. Just right down the ramp. Thank you.
Better get going. All right, you guys are next.
We're next.
Hi, everybody. This is probably going to be the last time you see us dry today. So, so in the health center, we are taking a little dip in census. We opened up about 59 this morning, but it's okay. It's the summer months. We always bounce back. We're still awaiting annual survey. We're still prepping for that, and actually having less census makes survey a lot easier, ironically. Other than that, we want to say last week was National Nurses Week, right? So we celebrated our nurses not only in the health center, also in the assisted living. And if there's any former nurses in our community, which I know there are, we want to say thank you to you as well. And this week, as we come to a close, is National Nursing Home Week, hence the reason for the carnival in the garden. There's popcorn, there's cotton candy, I think they have snow cones out there, and of course the infamous dunk tank that everybody's highly anticipating. All the staff are like, are you sure you're participating? Because I want to spend my money. But at least we know, that it's all in good fun.
Yes, and we would like to sincerely thank the Vol Shop for the purchasing, Bid House, so sorry. Vol Shop and Bid House for the purchasing of the mattresses and also for 2 chairs that will greatly improve the quality of life for a resident at the health center. So we do appreciate that. We want to make sure that they're as comfortable as they can be for people that are in certain conditions that may impair their ability to get up out of bed and be able to be around people, to enjoy a carnival. And these chairs will help them to be able to be comfortable in the position that they're in, be able to be out of bed. So we appreciate that. We also appreciate the mattresses because everybody knows we spend a lot of time sleeping, and especially as we get older, we spend more time in the bed. So having those mattresses will improve the quality of their life. So we want to sincerely thank the Vol Shop and the Bid House for those very generous donations. So thank you. That's all I have.
And Maria is on vacation until May 22nd. So if you guys have any questions related to the assisted living, you can contact myself, Alyssa. My contact information is in my W Life. And then also in June, we do have the Transitions of Care Forum, where myself, Miss Etta, Evilise, Susan, as well as Maria will be up here. It's going to be more like a panel discussion. We'll be going over specific scenarios in which or how we conduct our transitions of care and answering any questions that you may have. Patricia will be placing that sign up on My W Life, and then if you check the TVs, they'll be having a touchdown tile on there to remind you of the date. So if there's no other questions, I'm going to turn it back over. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned 59 patients. Are you fully staffed with nurses now in assisted living and in the retirement?
Well, we're always fully staffed with nurses. Whether the overtime, right, is a different thing, but we always have sufficient staff to take care of the residents. Yes. Whatever the federal percentage of overtime is, which is time and a half. I don't have that information off the top of my head. Thank you. Anything else? All right.
Our goal is to keep it lower than 5%. So it's not really triggering as a total, but it's as far as overtime percentage as a total of total payroll, it's pretty low. But we do incur pretty much in every department a little overtime here and there. We try to manage that out, and as we see, I mean, I know I talk about it with Rick, talk about it with Brad, certainly talk about it with Alyssa and Maria and them. As we see the hours, creep up, we know that there's some sort of utilization thing that we could do better at. So it's either whether we need to hire another staff, we need to watch that time clock creep, where people are just sort of milling about and not really being productive, right? And so we watch all that. Who was next? Maria was on the list, and they did her part. I think we're going to Brad. How about that? For your public speaking pleasure, I give you Brad.
How's everybody doing? All right, we got a few things I want to start off with from last year and into this month. Last year we served around 167,000 meals for the year. Last month we did 13,919. So it has increased. When I first got here around a year ago, it was a little bit or under 12, I believe. So we've increased, pretty well. So just want to put that out there. We've sold in the month of April 135 gallons of ice cream. I think like 30 gallons went to Kess, at least. So minimum. With about 90 gallons of soup. That's just in the month of April. So we're off to a good start. Couple things. We have the pulse survey going on, I believe, until tomorrow. So if you're able to do so, I believe that's for independent. The pulse survey, if you have not done so, please log on and do that. And then also the new cycle menu is supposed to be starting on June 1st. The dining committee does have possession of those right now for review, and then we will go over those and kind of fit it to our community based off the wants, and I know some of the things that you guys like and may not like. So we'll go through and edit that. I'd like to do that before Doug is out next week, so if I could please have those back possibly by Monday. You think Monday? Because I know Doug will be out, I believe, starting Wednesday? Friday, okay.
Well, Wednesday, I'll be going to
Right.
with the gala.
Right. I would like for Doug to attend the meeting, though, when we discuss the new menus that could be coming out. So if you have those, please return those back to me. Also, the tables that were in the dining room, the small rounds that were pushed together, have been replaced with larger rounds that fit all the people at that instead of the two pushed together. It just looks a lot nicer. And then the smaller ones, I believe, are being taken to the sunroom to replace the ones that are in the sunroom right now. Okay? Table 12 has a Lazy Susan now, so they probably, I don't think you have anything you'd like to say, right, Donna? It's probably good news. She's happy. I got her Lazy Susan, so now 2 tables have them. I do have an extra one, so it came in a pack of 2. So that's about all right. We do have a new employee. Her name is Kayla Ndablo. So now we have 2 Kaylas. The new one is the one with the dark hair. She has been getting a lot of compliments on My W Life. I hear a lot of people are very happy with her service. Both Kaylas do get a lot of compliments. So I think the dining staff, as far as the front of the house and also the back, has improved for the better compared to the past. We've kind of changed the morale a little bit. The speed has definitely increased. Some need a little work, but that's why we're here. So that's my job. So I just wanted to put that out there. Hopefully everybody's happy with the way things have been going. Please take your pulse survey, unless it's bad news. All right. Does anybody have anything for me? Oh, boy. Yes.
The posting of your menus.
Yes, sir.
We noticed the change went, through from Saturday to Sunday, now it's Sunday, Monday.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, the menus on Friday are disappearing, and the ones for Monday are there. So Saturday and Sunday, if you haven't taken notes,
Mm-hmm.
if you go to look, you don't really know.
Okay.
And then weeks like this week, we're still a week behind. It's still May 4th to 10th.
Now, I know the one that I just posted is all the way up through until Sunday the 17th. So it may need a date change on there, but the slides are, the daily slides that are on there for every day is up to date and current. So if I need to go in and change the date under the dining services 7-day week at a glance, I can do that. That's fine. Okay, I can do that.
On my W Life, where you usually go, we would go to dining services and the dining limit card, and then you would have the week thing. It's still May 4th through 10th.
That's what I was just talking about. I may have to go in and change that date. The slides are accurate up through the 17th. Okay. All I have to do is fix the dates. That's fine.
And they repeat with
Just, she said what he said. The same thing. The dates are not matching up until through the 17th.
Can we leave the week before and, like on Friday, put the one for that starts the following week, and leave the one for the current week, so we've got both of them covered Saturday and then for Monday as well?
I was doing that before, and I had complaints that people were confused by which menu was which. I mean, I can do it, but it sounds like either way it's going to...
If they're having problems, send them to me, I'll explain.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir. All right.
I got a pretty solid voice for that.
Yeah? All right. Mr. Cannon?
Is there any discussion about getting electronic tablets for the servers?
Yes. That has already been in the works for... so what's going on is Chaz, who is from Orlando, our culinary director, is bringing those down to us. I am ordering a kitchen printer from Visual Touch, who's runs the system that you see at the hostess stand. The credit card, I don't know if anybody's seen the new credit card machine that's at the hostess stand. I don't know if, you may not use it, but it's just it's an Android-based system. It's not really as big as a tablet. It looks like a phone. And then it's going to connect to the kitchen. So when they take your order at the table, it'll come to the kitchen instead of the back and forth and the handwriting and everything else. So some people in there are left-handed, and I can't read their writing. So. Or wrong-handed? Yes, ma'am. Yes, her name is Diane Charles. She works in the health center. Her name is Diane. We have a dietitian that comes in and signs off on the weekly menu, which is for the health center. That's who she's the supervisor over the health center. And then it's the same menu that we have. It's just some things had to be modified based off your diet needs. Okay, so Diane is the one that she goes in and she gets a diet order that comes into our meal system, which is Meal Suite, and it'll say no sugar added or low salt or diabetic or whatnot, and that goes in and is connected to their diet, and then that connects to their meal tray that they get. So if there's a substitution that's needed, for instance, if we have a meat or something that's on there and that needs to be pureed or substituted for something else, then we see that before they receive it. Mm-hmm.
What are the choices? They don't give you an idea of what your choices. Not everybody's educated enough to know what to do and what, But if there's something on there that says, listen, if you're diabetic, or the little star on the bottom, you can have this, because it only has a certain number of parts or something. Maybe that's a dietitian spot.
Mm-hmm.
We're paying for the food, so we're there, we're paying for the food. We need to be able This is an older community
Mhm.
where we all have dietary, but most people have dietary questions half the time or don't feel
Mhm.
well and what should I be eating, should I? And I don't see that choice. I don't see the choices that we should have.
Okay. What were you going to say? I thought you were going to say something about that.
I was gonna say.
Oh.
I think that maybe if you wanted more education, is that more we're saying like education on what you should eat or what is work for you and your, because everybody has their own type of diagnosis and their own health concerns.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe then it's an opportunity to speak with Diane personally to do that, or
Well, there should be maybe there should be more of an education.
Yeah.
You run.
Right.
Somebody here. Sure.
Because we also have people that are fully aware of the issue and still do what, they want to do. No. We can recommend what they should be having, but ultimately, like you said, it's up to them. But I can put notations on the menu that, diabetic friendly or, something like that. I can do that because we have the emblems for, icons for that. I couldn't find the word.
But I think there should be some kind of classes or somebody, the dietitian. Yeah.
Okay.
Something for us, maybe every 2-3 months.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I'm a CDM myself, so you could talk to me. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. I'm I have my dietitian as well, so I know, right? Yes, ma'am. Oh, we have a machine that's up front that the
Connected to anything?
It is. It's connected. So we have, you can do Apple Pay, Google Pay, credit card. I mean, if you would like to pay that way, you can. It's connected. From what I understand, the one, correct. The one that used to be on the side of the monitor was not functioning. And so I just had it replaced, and now it's all. Mhm. Yes. I mean, you could pay however you'd like to do it. I mean, if you want to do it that way, we can charge for the meal. You're talking about saving on meal credits and just pay the price and.
You use your meal credits, but you still want to eat there.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't want it going on your monthly bill.
Mm-hmm.
You can use the credit card to pay like you would at a restaurant.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Thank you. Good.
You're very welcome. Chili tomorrow. Don't forget.
I know.
I promised you. I got. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I want to say thank you for the service that you and your staff provided the first week of May.
Uh-huh.
We had regular meal service, Cinco de Mayo,
Yeah.
fellowship dinner, and I was just amazed at the quality and the service
Mhm.
that came out of your kitchen.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. We were happy to do it. Speaking of service, since you mentioned that, I'm sure some of you had noticed the service has been beefed up a little bit. There are extra servers on for each shift. So we had some more part-timers come in that are available more for the evening to speed up service. We were struggling a little bit there with 2 to 3 servers max for 40 people, and now it's 5 servers. So hopefully you all are seeing the change in that, okay? I have to head off to a call. All right. Thank you very much, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Brad. Rick or Jeff? Who's Rick? Jeff? Rick? So I know it went to sleep and it was probably blinding everybody, but I'm sorry about that. I was trying to put up there, I put it in the TGI about the recycling stuff every week. I don't know if it's helpful or not. All right, I keep putting it in there, but there's a web page on the city of Lakeland. Again, when the truck comes by, normally they make at least 2 laps, right, in our community with this stuff. And if they see, a banana peel, right, or a bag, right, one of these recycled bags in the recycling that's not on the recycling acceptable list, the whole thing goes into trash. Right? They don't get out, pick it out. Nope. It all goes in the trash. right? So they're very picky. It's great that they do it and have the recycling program, but they're very, particular about it. So I'm happy to share the link if you want it, but it's in the TGI as well.
Yeah, they will also send you a letter. How do I know that? Because I got one.
So right, if you put items in there that don't belong frequently enough, they call it contaminating, right? So they use some sort of word, and they'll fine us, right, for putting those inappropriate items in the recycle. Yes.
One of the things I notice the most is that there are some who conscientiously recycle, but then they throw everything in the recycling bin in a plastic bag.
Yep.
And that ruins the whole load, yeah.
Right. So yes, exactly. Sorry.
So in Terrace Gardens and Waverly Place and Waverly Court, those are private roads. So maintenance does the they do the trash and the recycling bins are at the entrance of Terrace Gardens. So those recycling bins are up at the entrance. So the city will pick them up. But if there's something contaminated in it, they will send us a letter because, like I said, I've received one because I've put something in mine that I shouldn't have. And what I put in there was I have a swimming pool, so I put a muriatic acid bottle in there that was empty, but I rinsed it out, but it's plastic. And so, but I got the letter, and so I won't put that in there anymore. So, projects on campus that we're working on. Right now we have Mike and Mark up at the MacArthur Center. They are running the water line and electrical line for the ice machine that will be up there. And that's going to be in the bistro itself. We've relocated this thing 3 times now, but we finally found a way to get water and electric to it and have it drained properly. So that's going to be in the bistro. If you noticed by the MacArthur Center, the dog park, there's a bunch of white flags out there. We've had 3 companies give us quotes on it, and I'm hoping that we will make our decision here soon.
I'm hoping that as well.
So, but yeah, it's going to be quite a bit, probably double the size of what's there now, maybe a little bit more than that, but it's going to be, like you see the flags, that's how it's going to be laid out. The guest rooms, we are actively trying to wrap that on up. We made a few changes to it to make it a little more user-friendly. So we're going to relocate the vanity over a little bit and do a few little items that we made a punch list. And so we're working the punch list out. And so hopefully within the next probably month, I would think, by the end of this month probably, we will have the guest rooms open back on up. That's B and C. But they're really looking nice. We got the flooring in, the painting's done, the electricity, the walk-in showers, new walk-in showers in them, new lighting in there, new ceiling fans. Really looks really nice. It's going to look, I don't know, like a nice hotel room. It's going to look really nice.
Are we going to get a show and tell? I mean, are they going to be open for an open house? Sure. Walk through and see it?
Yeah, Doug will plan that. But, the furniture, I think 99% of the furniture is in for the guest rooms. I think we're still waiting on box spring, a couple box springs. But most of the furniture is in, and we're just waiting to do the punch list, and we'll start staging them, putting everything in there. So we received that, and then we have extra artwork for the dining room, chairs for Holland Delay, is it? New chairs for Holland Delay and the health center. So we got quite a few projects that we're working on right now. So, and then, like we said, Brad said, the guys put new dining room tables together this morning. Yeah, so. On the grounds, I'm still getting a lot of resident phone calls. What are we doing about the plantings on the campus? Well, I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the Flora Lawn has been out here cutting a lot of plants back. We have a lot of new growth on most of the plants. I think we did lose quite a few, but things are starting to come back. We have residents buying their own plants, and Chris, our groundskeeper, has helped planting them with them and spreading mulch. So they got a new crew leader out here, and she's making it's a female, and she's doing a really good job. She has an eye for the landscape and the plantings, and so she's doing a really good job. And so she's taken over this campus for herself. Last month, we did 554 work orders. The previous month, we did 634, so we are keeping really busy with all the extra projects and work orders. Any questions or concerns for maintenance? Yes, ma'am.
I have
Three.
Number one, will the price of the rooms go up for the guests?
That's a Doug question.
Whatever they're currently posted at, they'll remain there.
Okay.
So,
Number two, I just received a letter today that the city's sending out the tree people. Okay.
They have butchered the trees in Terrace Gardens. They butchered. What they're doing is they're preparing for hurricane season. Hurricane season starts June 1st, so what they're doing is cutting all the trees back off the power lines, and they are really cutting them back, I will say that. They've cut them back there and on Highland Street. And I think that's really about it. I don't think they've done anything on Tally. Lakeside Court, they have to? Okay. So they've been actively out here working.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess they're just coming up. And then I just want to say, every time I see any of the maintenance guys, I have to ask them a question. Everyone is so positive, and that's a lot of orders. And I'm certain, they have their days or whatever, but they're doing a good job, I think.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Is your maintenance staff complete?
We are fully staffed. Maintenance and housekeeping, we're fully staffed. Yes, ma'am.
Regarding the trash and recycling, I think it would be helpful if each resident or apartment had a printed list of what is to be recycled and regular.
It is.
Sometimes
Okay.
we forget.
It is on My Life. It's posted on that, and it's also posted on.
we put it on the pizza. I mean, we can print, if you want a copy of it, we can totally print it out.
We can, what we could do is we can print it out and pass it out. Yeah, we could work on something like that. We can do that. Okay. Yeah. The city of Lakeland sent them out. Yeah.
City of Lakeland has them.
Yeah. But we have a master copy down the shop we can print out also. Yes, ma'am.
Have you considered, well, I know you have in the past, but for those of us who are vertically challenged, horizontally challenged, used to be vertical, but there's so many things that aren't fitting me, like shower and the cabinets in my kitchen area. And I know we haven't talked about, well, William, we have talked about it, but is there any opportunity for consideration of making some adjustments in my?
I would have to look to see what kind of adjustments what you're referring to. I mean, I know the kitchen cabinets are mounted to the wall. I don't know about lowering those. That's just something that,
It just, I have one shelf, and three ways across that I can reach without getting on a ladder, and we're not supposed to get on ladders because then we're gonna fall. So,
I'll make a note, and either myself or Jeff will come by and see you.
I know I'm glad we're
Any other questions for Rick?
Yes, sir.
I just want to compliment the service. I submitted a work order last week. Within 2 hours, the repair was made. Fantastic.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh. Yes, sir.
Now that Lakeland has come through and butchered the trees, the dead limbs and the things that are on the trees that are left, does your team do that, or does the landscaping group the community hire? How do all of the dead things that are hanging over the houses and things like that now get cleaned the rest of the way out?
We have a monthly tree company that comes out here, They've been in terrace gardens. They've been everywhere. But what we do is we have a list. So if you see something that's a hazard, just call it in or shoot me an email and we'll put it on the list. But we have so many trees on campus. We ride around, we look, we point out things we look for things that are going to damage the roof. That's what we look for. And anything that's, hanging low enough where it can hit somebody in the face or something like that. But because we have, I don't know, we have 50 acres, so we have that many, we have a lot of trees out here. So they're out here every month doing a certain amount of work that we have budgeted for.
Okay, so an email to you?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
You mentioned hurricane season begins in June. I know that every residential nursing facility, ALF, has to have an emergency operations plan. Do we have someone on campus that does emergency management type of education for the residents, or someone who's in charge of that, or independent?
We have a Kemp Emanuel County Emergency Management Plan, and it's for our entire campus. And what we do is probably next month I'll be up here speaking about hurricanes, talking about what we do, how we prepare the campus, our generators, because we have 4 generators on campus, 2 portable generators. We do not supply any hurricane preparation for the houses. It's just for the buildings only. We prepare the buildings, but we do, we prep the campus for, residential. We'll pick up bird feeders or anything that could be picking up by the winds. We don't board up windows. We don't tape windows. So those are things that we do. But we spend a lot of time up here preparing these buildings for the hurricanes. It's my team, yes. Yeah. But everybody has a role in it. Dining service has a role in it. Doug has a role in it. Alyssa, the administrator, has a role in it. So every department has a role in our plan.
We just had a meeting about it.
Yeah, we just did. So more to come. Okay. Yes,
I have
hey
a
Judy.
question. I got a phone call this morning. I'm with the Dixieland Association. We have an increase of homeless men in the park. They're sleeping on the benches. One was there from 7 a.m. yesterday morning till 2. My question is, I know you guys are around. Do y'all report that as well as us residents? They're just saying we've got a lot of residents that walk and a lot of young people that have children that they're walking with. And they were just saying we need to really be vigilant about trying to, and the police department said they were going to step up trying to patrol that they can, is that something that?
I've seen them. I've seen people in the park. And I've seen a group of men sitting out there, but I don't go up and ask them if they're homeless or anything, because they're on bicycles. That's what I see them on.
Right. Well, the police department did go.
Okay.
And they did confirm.
Okay.
They are. So that was a phone call that I got. When I was coming to the meeting, I just wanted to ask.
Okay.
We had a young man, what's today? Thursday, I think it was Tuesday. He was obviously, I'm sorry. We had a young man on Tuesday wandering through campus. I saw him, actually he passed by the health center, walked all the way down by our shop to the crosswalk, came all the way back, walked around the lake. I followed him the entire time. I didn't stop him, harass him. He's on a public sidewalk. But when we see stuff like that, we do keep an eye on them and make sure everything is okay and that they're not stopping and loitering on the property.
All right. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
Oh.
The mattresses that we donated to the health center, I think we got them 20 new ones, and it was told to us that the older mattresses may be saved in the event that there's a hurricane and some of our other people come from some of the other Westminsters. Are we storing them someplace?
We are, but we're also doing, during COVID, we went through a lot of mattresses because we were constantly cleaning them with chemicals. And what happened is taking the layers of the mattresses off. And so what we're doing is we're throwing those away and recycling the ones that are good. It's a constant turnover because every time that, not even during COVID, but every time that someone discharges a room, we go in there and we clean the mattress with chemicals. And it takes a wear and tear on the finish of the mattresses. So, but we do save as many as we can, yes. I think we're up to, what, 75 or so? Yeah. So we have a lot of mattresses in stock, but we also reuse them as needed also.
Does Westminster own the property that's on the
Where the bungalow houses and where the mound of dirt is at? Yes, that's all our campus.
Is there anything planned? What's the deal? We're paying a lot of taxes on that property.
It's future planning. Future planning.
There should be some kind of restriction for who's going in there too, because I almost broke my ankle when I went in there. The floor's all rotted inside that.
Oh, well, residents really shouldn't be going in that house, period, yeah. Yeah.
And so I had to go in.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. The first time I'd ever been in there.
Yeah.
But it just seems like it's an accident waiting to happen.
The whole house is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when's it gonna fall on somebody's head and then you're gonna worry about it?
Well,
Is there a possibility you can not just knock it down?
no, it's protected by the historic district.
It's historic. Yeah, when it goes like that, then it's not
Yes,
historic.
you're right.
Yeah, into itself.
Anybody else? Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Rick. Good job, guys. All right. I'm going to run through a couple things here real quick. We're pushing our hour. I always think we're going to be early, and then we end up being late. But as Rick mentioned there, we are working on our hurricane prep. We just had our first meeting with our Senior Vice President, Jim Plowski. He came here on site and conducted the meeting. Oh, how did we skip you?
Yeah.
You were up here first.
But then you did the movie.
Do you want to come back and do your thing? Come right now. No time like the present. Sorry. We didn't ever mean to skip Etta. Come on.
I didn't take it personally. Okay. Just want to run through real quick because I got a lot of stuff on the list. That's the only reason why I brought it up. First of all, thank you for those who were able to attend Jan Maxfield's service today in the garden. We had a beautiful time there and got a recommendation from there, kind of a thought that came through about possibly looking into getting the rock speakers that go in the garden. So that way we don't have to lug the Bluetooth speaker down, but we'll look at that and submit that on our 2028 list that's coming up. Friday at 2 o'clock in Porter McGrath on the second floor. I know you noticed that I changed the chat twice this month. We had a lot of things going on, so I decided to move it. If you want ice cream sundaes, you're more than welcome to come upstairs. We're finishing up nursing home week, but the ice cream sundaes will be in Porter McGrath, second floor, 2 o'clock. You don't have to be a resident of Porter McGrath to come up and enjoy. So we've got lots of treats for you there. In June, you'll notice that the chat has been rescheduled from the first Tuesday to the second Tuesday, and that's so that we can attend the movie screening that'll be shown here. And then because I'm making you wait and I've been shifting it around, I put a special order in for German chocolate cake. So, yeah, so that'll be a treat. May 19th, I've been invited out to the Salvation Army to speak at their home league meetings. I know that there's several of you who have had me come to your church for different meetings or presentations. Just know if you have an opportunity for me to come out, I would love to come out and be a part. I've done Bible studies for churches. I've done just question and answer for some that talked about end-of-life issues. I've been invited out to talk about what do we offer on campus when it comes to our spiritual program and also when it comes to transition and end of life. And this one actually is a Bible study. They're doing the names of God, and so I've been invited out to do that. So I'm more than happy if you will get with me in advance. Now, don't call me the week of. That might be a little difficult. But if you let me know if you've got something going on at your church in conjunction with your pastor, please, please, please consult with your pastor Don't jump rank on that, because you're going to put me in a bad spot, because I'm going to consult with them before I come out. But if you have that opportunity, I'd be more than happy to do that. We have our rehab open house next week on May 22nd. We're extending it to residents on our campus because in our conversation, we found out there's many of you who have never been in Porter McGrath. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but you're living in a community with things that are available to you, but you may not know what they're all about. Well, here's a good opportunity, because you'll have a chance to meet with Kim, our rehab director, our DON, Don will be there, Rhonda will be there from admissions, and then I will be there as the chaplain. But it's a tour, so it's non-committal. We're not trying to make you move in. We're not trying to scour your insurance for what you have available. We want you to know what's available to you on campus. So that's open for our residents. It is on My W Life if you want to sign up there. There are flyers here on the table you can take with you. You can call Rhonda and RSVP. And the good part about it is if you take that tour, if you walk through and see those services, we're actually going to stage a room for what a room would look like when you move in. We're going to talk about what services we offer, have a chance to see our gym there, and as you finish your tour, there is a complimentary lunch and some treats for you there as well that'll be served in the garden. We have some food trucks that are coming out to serve that too. So it's really for your information. We're not trying to boost our sales or get you to move in. That's not the goal. But many of you don't know what we offer. And so when you're presented with things at the hospital, because emergencies do happen, when you're presented with things and options at the hospital, you don't know you have options already here that are available to you, and then you can choose between the best. So this is a great time to come out and do that. You probably already got an email from an anonymous sender that already advertised that, and you'll probably get another one the first of the week. But just take note of that and know that that's what that's all about. We'll be celebrating Pentecost on May 24th. And then on May 31st, we have a special treat. Reverend Taylor Phillips is going to be leading us in worship. And so we're excited about that. We got a chance to hear from Reverend Dr. Taylor, and now we're going to hear from Reverend Taylor. You're pointing at Pam. Pam's not preaching that Sunday. Yes, she preached already, but now it's your turn. Okay, so we're going to hear him on the 31st. I'll be here, but I just want to give an opportunity for some of our pastors, some of our clergy on campus to bring a message. You don't always need to hear one voice. I'm very adamant about that. We need to hear more than one voice. And then our verse mapping is continuing. We just picked up with part of the Lord's Prayer, so for the next 5 weeks, we will do the Lord's Prayer, and then we're switching to topics, Bible topics, and I try to do them by your suggestion. So it was suggested that we do topics like, what does the Bible say about love? What does the Bible say about forgiveness? What does the Bible say about many different things? And so we'll do a series of that once we finish the Lord's Prayer. And then on June 1st, you know that many of us are helping while Jada's out celebrating new motherhood. So I have the potpourri group that will be in the game room on June 1st at 2:30, and you do need to sign up on My W Live so I know what to bring to prepare for that. So I think that's all I have. Thank you, Doug.
No worries. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to overlook you. All right. Well, we're not going to run through it, but there's a handout here about April's financials, which are our first month of the new fiscal. I'll just tell you that they're positive. If anybody has any questions about it, come see me. All right, that way we don't have to turn off the YouTube back there. We don't want to go in YouTube jail again. They have a lot of regulations. Somebody must be getting dunked because I hear people screaming. So I'm really interested in getting out there and checking that out. But we are doing hurricane prep. There's a lot of stuff that goes on campus. We're going to continue to talk about it. There'll be messages that go out. We ask that our IL residents in particular have a plan. Lakeland's pretty safe, right? Last 2 years ago now, I guess, during Milton was, storm coming sort of right up the I-4 corridor was an outlier, right? It's not something that we get here very often. But our IL residents should have a plan, and we can help talk to you about that. Also want to bring up, I got a list of things here. It is alligator mating season. All right, and we're not going to get too many shout outs about that. But be careful, as I'm getting at. You're walking around the lake. It's beautiful out there, especially, in the late afternoon, sun's going down. In the early morning, be careful if you have a dog or whatever pet. Every day it seems like I see a young mom out here with her child, and they're kicking the soccer ball around. It goes down by the lake. I'm just like, one of these days, you got to be careful. Be careful out there. We had the Dixieland Neighborhood Association meeting this week. They also talked about water safety for going to places or pools and stuff, and we got kids around in particular. Be mindful, be watchful. I think they were saying at that most of these drownings are silent. There's no screaming and hollering. Someone slips, falls, bang their head, they get knocked out, and they fall in the water, and that's it. Right? So they say you can drown in 6 inches of water, so be careful with that. They talked about crimes of opportunity, meaning people leaving their car doors and stuff unlocked. And I didn't know it, but they said that the number one stolen thing, guess what it is? Guns, right? So I guess if you're going to leave your gun in your car, lock your door, right? So that's the takeaway there. We have a lot of projects going on campus. We want to continue to give thanks and shout out to our volunteer groups, the Vol Shop, Bid House, everybody, for the donations and their efforts to do enhancements here on campus. Right, we got the ice machine going. We got the positioning chairs, reclining chairs, the Bark Park expansion, the mattresses, and the sound system that came in already. That's over in the game room that we have some folks working on. It's a very complex system. So if you want to learn how to be a DJ, go see Leighton. Also, like Rick said, we're wrapping up on the dining room. This whole table thing, it's sort of grown ahead of its own. Some of you all sit at those long rectangular tables. In case you haven't noticed, the finish on those is wearing off sort of prematurely, we think. I mean, surely they're only a couple months old. They shouldn't be showing any signs of wear and tear. So we're working on some sort of warranty resolution with that. We talked about the house. I think somebody brought up the house on New York Mastruti. We do have a potential resident who's looking at actually building 2 houses on Cannon. We're in the very beginning phases of that with planning and design and the land, splitting up the parcels and how all that will actually work out. I can tell you that they're going to be, if it continues down the path it's going, it'll be 2 single-family homes. They won't be duplex or anything like that. It'll be a bungalow or a craftsman-style house, 1,400 square feet, give or take. Yes, ma'am. No, I mean, we do talk about it, the New York house. I mean, currently, so it's not hooked up to any utilities or anything. It's just sitting there. They moved it. I think they moved that when they built the expansion onto the Port McGrath, right? I think that was part of the deal that if you ever go up to the 3rd floor ALF conference room, there's a big picture that sits behind the tables there. And on the right side of it, you can see, first of all, where the ALF is now, 901. That was a parking lot. And when you look on the other side of the building that was existing, there was 2 houses and 2 parking lots. Well, most of that is occupied by the new Porter McGrath expansion and the new ALF expansion. But one of the houses was moved, up to New York. But it was never connected to utility or anything like that. The flooring, as mentioned, I wouldn't say in the 2 years that I've been here that's any worse. I think it was tented and then the termites were mitigated, but the flooring would definitely need to be repaired. I know I've spoke to some of you all here that, that could potentially become a community center, or I don't know, we would have to really do some work on it to put it back as a residential unit, because it's old and it just needs a lot of work. All right. Pat? Yeah, I see. I already pointed that out to Rick. So most of those are in these chairs. I know I've talked about this with some of you all. For some reason, the termites like the manufactured wood, right? The particle board. I don't know if it's the glue in it, what it is, but they find it tasty. Yeah, right? I wanted to talk real quick. We're getting ready to jump into our budget season and do our walkabout. It got rescheduled from this month until first part of June. So we'll have a group on campus that'll come. We'll do a walkabout and get our budget season kicked off, and then we'll follow that up with a walkabout with your resident council. But we had a couple, not large, but unbudgeted capital repairs, already last month. One, we had to do an AC repair up in PMG. One of the ACs that controls air conditioning to one of our med rooms went down and had to be repaired. We're working on a sewer line repair project that is over by Kenilworth, right? So you guys may see some action over there off Kenilworth and Tally. We already talked about water safety, lock your cars, talked about recycling. The Dixieland meeting is the second Tuesday of each month. Rick talked about the tree trimming. Hank Keith is coming here for his annual presentation Monday, August 13th at 1 p.m. Just want to put that on your calendar. I'll send out reminders. And our leader of our company, our CEO, Hank Keith, will be here Monday, August 13th at 1 p.m. here in the chapel. This is not for my chat, it's for his presentation. Last time he took up my chat time. This time, is it a Thursday? Well, he said August 13th, so I may have to correct myself, but it's I had it written down Monday, August 13th. So if it's a Thursday, let's go with that. Yes.
When Hank Keith was here in October, he mentioned that they would be working on the 3-year plan for Westminster Lakeland this year. Can you update us on what's happening with that?
At the resident council meeting that we were up there last week, they sort of talked about the plan in general, right, sort of high level, that some communities have more of a defined plan than others. That's where we're at. We're one of the others that don't have a sort of a super defined plan yet. We're enjoying currently very high occupancy. You think that would lend itself to discussions about expansion. What we're going to do ultimately with the sixplex over here is something that we talked about as recently as today, since Jim Pulaski was here, right? So it's it's something I try to plug every chance we have. And he said the same thing. Either we fix it, tear it down, talk about the former master site plans about building a bigger commercial building there, what we can really do. I don't know. I just, it's all things that are in the discussions. But the most momentum I would say that we have behind anything is just fixing what's there. We go in there, we need to blow the walls out, redo the configurations of it, but yeah. Yes, Ms. Jane. Uber? All right. Do we have any way of measuring? Or do you have a feeling? Well, I mean, I can just give you a personal anecdote, right? That I use Uber quite often, especially when we go over, to Braden and Palmetto just because parking, is bad. And if you go somewhere, it's hard to park. And then, God forbid you have a drink or something. And, I drive a Jeep that's already hard to handle. So I don't want any bad things to happen. So but there's ratings, there's driver ratings on the Uber app. The person that's coming to get you, if they've done 10,000 trips, they're probably, pretty reliable versus somebody that's done, 100, and how long they've been a driver for them. But, on the other side of that, most people feel comfortable with calling a taxi. And you don't know that person from Adam versus an Uber or a Lyft driver or whatever, right? So, I don't know.
You can request a female driver too if you're concerned about that.
Yeah, if that makes you, I don't know if anybody heard Miss Lucia. I think on the app you can request a male or a female driver if that makes you feel more comfortable. I know I've canceled a few rides mid-ride in the past, over the years, because you're just sitting there like, I don't know what's going on with this person, but I need to get out of this car. So I can start another ride from here with somebody else, right? So I just stop, let me out, and I'll pay you. I'll go on with somebody else. But anybody have any questions for me? That's all I have for you today. I'm sorry the meeting went a little long. Yes.
Quick question, hopefully it's a small tweak. Would it be possible when there's a Dixieland Neighborhood Association meeting or a birthday party or some other event in the MacArthur Center, could that be included in the calendar that we get so we would?
Sure, we should be able to put the Dixieland meetings on there, and we committed to be better about putting resident, reserve, parties and stuff in there, just so you're aware of them. I'll continue with that commitment, but I'll have one of my friends here help me put that on the menu. I mean the calendar for the Dixieland meeting. But it is the second Tuesday of every month, and it's like 6:30 to 7:30, so it's pretty late, at least for me. I've worked all day.
That's just one of them. There are other things.
Sure, yeah. But just so you know, they're in there. Yeah. Well, for everybody, I try to push those out every month that we have them, so you all know where we stand as a community. That's the most important thing to know, right? That, I'm not hiding anything, I want to be 100% transparent with our community's financials, but if you have a question, right, a specific, I think you were asking about overtime and stuff and how we manage that. I don't mind talking to you about it. It's something that is a concern of mine that we look at very closely. Our payroll is our largest expense, right? And it's something that needs to be managed. But it's just one of the items on a list of a million different items that have to be managed.
But you're feeling good about the finances.
100%. I can tell you, we started out this year positive, right? And we did not start out the year positive, last fiscal, right? So there's no cloud over that, over the financials that I see. We're always going to have unbudgeted capital expenses because we can't plan for stuff, to break, right? So it's does it ultimately affect our financials? 100%, right? Because you take the money you made and you start pulling off things that weren't planned. And does it affect other capital projects? It could, depending. You have a storm come through like Milton. We had 14 roofs that got damaged, and 14 times $20,000. That money's got to come from somewhere. So you start pushing budgeted capital things out so you can finance those repairs. Yes, ma'am.
I still consider myself new.
Sure.
I haven't been here very long compared to a lot of folks. But I'm also noticing there are a lot of new residents. And I'm wondering who I would speak to about the assimilation of new residents.
Mm-hmm.
which was great, but she didn't understand how the communication systems worked. So we have redundant communications, which is great because we need them, right? But I don't think there's anywhere that I recall, like I had to stumble around to figure out there's the Daily Soup and there's Allison's and there's Lakeland, Letter Herald and then there's My W Life and then there's
Info screens and
so no one ever explained that to me. Is there someone that has that as a piece?
well, I mean, we do have resident, representatives in the neighborhoods that do some of that. I know Michelle, talks a lot about this with new residents as they're coming in, but I 100% submit that it's a lot of information. There's a lot of excitement, right, when you're first coming in and you're maybe selling a home, you're moving this, it's a big change, you're worried about how everything's all gonna come together, and then you're trying to figure out the 45 different ways we're trying to communicate with you. It is a lot. Right. Sure. Again, today at our resident council orientation meeting, I think there was 15 different, ways that we communicate on there with different text and direct messaging systems through MyWLife, direct email, the crawls we have, the different flyers that come out from, wellness, Allison and Resident Life and Jada and Patricia. And I mean, there's a lot of information coming out, and it's not single sourced. So it's a bit to keep up with, yeah. All right. Well, remember, everybody got witnesses. Yeah. It is a lot, right? It is a lot. It does take a little bit. Yeah. I'm still trying to figure it out. So, all right, everybody, have a good day. And welcome to May.
Hi, Bill. How are you? All right.